Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back with another book review for 2019, and actually this is going to be the second to last book review of the year for myself, and I'll say straight off the top, it's a book that is also from the list of books that Nipsey Hussle, the late great Nipsey Hussle, had read and was sharing with his circle. For me, it's also a book that reminds me of a book I've reviewed in the past, which was the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And they kind of go, I wouldn't say they go hand in hand, these two books, or I would just say that they're very compatible. If you've not read the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, I'll put a link to my book review in the description box below, so you can check that one out as well. But I'd say they're compatible. I think they're very good books. I definitely enjoyed the 5 Love Languages. I thought that was a good book. I felt that it could be read by anybody, and they can get a lot from it. I would say this book that I'm reviewing today is maybe a little different in the sense that it's maybe geared more toward men, but I'm sure any females out there that read this book can gain knowledge from it as well. And the book that I'm talking about is The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. I believe I'm saying that right, D-E-I-D-A. And like I said, I got this book from the Nipsey Hussle list of books that he reviewed or he read and was sharing with his circle. And I actually saw the story about how he got turned on to that book. His girl, his woman at that time, Lauren London, either she had found it through the grapevine or was suggested that she read it, and she shared it with him. And in most cases, maybe the guy reads it, right? Maybe he reads it, maybe he takes some time to read it. But I think the fact that he actually read it, Nipsey Hussle actually read it, and then shared it and actually talked about it and suggested that people read it was a great endorsement. And I think it kind of proves in a sense his greatness and why he was kind of a transcending personality. This book was definitely comparable or compatible to the book The 5 Love Languages, but again, the sense that it's a little different, maybe, like I said, I feel a little more geared to a male perspective or a male reader. And so in the sense that I kind of gravitated from right there at that point. I think as I started to read, it kind of really opened my eyes to some of the things that I didn't know I was dealing with, or I didn't know I had situations that I was dealing with, or being held back by certain things that they talked about in the book. And so as I read deeper and further, gotten further into the book, I kind of realized, I've lived through some of these experiences, and I didn't really know how to act in those situations. And so it gives you an understanding of why the situation happened and how to deal with it and how to be better for the next opportunity or the next instance. To understand what this book really talks about, it's really giving you, as a man or as a male, the perspective of the feminine. To understand even further about this book, it's not necessarily promoting one or the other, it's promoting both, in a sense of being able to have balance, in the sense that, as much as, you may be a male, you have feminine qualities about yourself as well. As much as a female may have feminine qualities, she also has male qualities. So it's a matter of, in a sense, more about the balance, and also the ability to bring out the certain side of you at certain times when it's most needed. A few of the examples they talk about there is when, as they call it, your woman will test you. She's not testing you to annoy you or put you down. She's more or less testing you to have you bring out that male quality that she enjoys, that helps her feel more comfortable, that helps her feel, in a sense, more loved. They talk about, in a sense, this idea that the woman doesn't want to be the number one. She, ultimately, she doesn't really want to be number one. She may say that, and she may act like that. As a male, you view that, and you think that that's what she really wants, but she doesn't really want that. She wants you to be one with your calling, and even if that calling makes her second place or third place, whatever it may be, she's willing to do that because she understands ultimately that you being the ultimate man, the superior man, is what she really wants from you if she really does love you. So they kind of bring out things like that, which was definitely kind of interesting and perspective that I didn't really have before. I would say I've had many troubles with women, but a lot of the stuff that they talk in the book gave me a clearer and better understanding of situations that I didn't have no idea what was going on in my past. So that was definitely cool. I think they also talk about this idea that you got to separate yourself from your father. You know what I'm saying? As much as you may love your father and want to build your life after him, if that's how you view him, you have to kind of, in a sense, separate. And there's actually a brief little chapter on that explains the reasons why and the benefits of it. And so I think as the book reads, it's definitely an easy read. I feel anyone can pick this up and start to read it. The chapters are not very long. The longer chapters are really, in a sense, longer only because they go in more in depth in explanation of what they're trying to get across to the reader, and so that's good. The shorter chapters are, in a sense, pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, it's easy to read, so it's not like a lot of coded language or big words. I think that if I was going to recommend this book to anyone, I would recommend it to a young man. Maybe young man that's kind of probably already gone through puberty, maybe done the sex ed kind of situation in school and kind of trying to find himself, so maybe, high school age, early college, again, I wouldn't restrict it there, but I would think that if you really wanted to fully live this and really expand on it, you'd want to get it earlier in your life rather than, maybe a little later, maybe, that's what I would say or suggest. I also think that the way the book is laid out, it kind of builds a progression. So, it really starts out with the man really being able to better himself, and then it goes on to how to deal with women, understand women a little bit better, and then also to be a better man for your woman. It kind of goes through a progression like that. So I like that progression. I feel that's kind of definitely beneficial for the reader to kind of get to the point where, like, okay, I'm all the way back here. I'm to the last chapter. Okay, I've gone through the process. I understand what I'm dealing with. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I would lay out for this book. I definitely think it's a great read. I think for myself, this is probably my favorite book of the year. I wish I could have read more, either books like this or either books that I've reviewed, because a lot of the books that I review are books that, from one way or another, had interested me. Had interested me at some point, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to share. I would also say about this book that, again, it's not really promoting the male or demoting the female. Again, it's about the balance. This is about using both sides of yourself to become the ultimate. And as much as there's the masculine and there's the feminine, it's all about love. That's what I really feel is the root of it. It's kind of really being in a loving state at all times and being at the most or at your best, or as the book says, superior. Your superior you, and it's not necessarily about them or those. It's more about you. Being the most you can be, the superior man that you can be. And it's really about growth and understanding situations for what they are and not what they appear to be. Because I think that's another thing that makes the sexes kind of confusing, because certain situations don't read as what they really are. They read as something else. And so, you know, as a male, you're viewing what your woman is going through, and you want to be as helpful as possible. You know, in most cases, you want to be helpful as possible to her, but the way she's coming off, it's telling you to do one thing when you really should be doing another thing. And really, in most cases, it's really just about showing love. So that has been my review for The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. I hope you enjoyed this review and, you know, possibly got something out of it that you can use for yourself, or maybe even interest you in reading the book itself. If it has, or maybe brought up some comments, definitely leave those in the comment box below. And like I said, I will leave a link to The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, because I feel these two books kind of, you know, like I said, they're compatible in a way. You know what I'm saying? They're both talking about love and how to love your mate, or in a sense, this book, How to Love Your Woman. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, because you watch other videos that I posted on this channel, definitely subscribe, because I will continue to be putting out content through the rest of this year and into the next year. So, like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go!
Whoop.